A witch dug up a grave in front of me. After that witch had dug up a grave, that was when she took some soil and then she mixed the soil and told me to drink that soil. Right now, I am suffering because of what I did. I am a 38-year-old man. I was born in KZN, but I have been hustling here in Gauteng for over 10 years now. I am sending my story to you because my life, it has transformed in ways that I can't even understand what is going on. My manhood, it is shrinking on a daily basis. And the way that I love women right now, it really does not even make sense at all. It is because I wanted to sleep with a woman that was married, and she was not only married to any man, she was married to my boss. And I am living in a nightmare, I can say. Let me tell you what happened. I was working as a supervisor at this other company that I do not want to mention by name. Let's say that this company, it was based in City Deep, and my boss, I'll call him Mr. H, a man from Venda, very wealthy. That man, he has a lot of money, and they stay in a nice neighborhood, gated community vibes. And I just loved the wife. The wife, she was someone that was pretty much young. As for my boss, is those type of men that marry for the looks, and they marry even when they are old and their wives have passed away, they still want to be with a second woman. So he got married to this lady in front of us. This lady and I, we had been friends because she used to work at the reception area straight out of university. She was at Venda. Yo, she was a beauty. When she was brought to Gauteng by our boss, everyone was even laughing at work, saying that this one, she is going to be Mrs. very soon. With the way that she is so beautiful, the boss is not going to let go of this woman. Definitely, she is going to get married very soon because she was hell of a beautiful woman. So when she was working, I became friends with her. I loved her for the fact that she always had this natural beauty, beautiful curves everywhere, and she was dark chocolate. And that was the type of a woman that I wanted, not these fake ones with the fake wigs and stuff. So I wanted to propose love to him, but she put me immediately in a friend zone. The day when I told her that I wanted us to go out after we would have knocked off, she agreed. I was in front with my car. She was at the back with her own car that our boss had bought for him the moment that she arrived in Joburg. We were at this other restaurant, and I did not know that Lo Kim, the boss, had been proposing love to him. There was no way that he was going to choose me to refuse money to date a man that was like me. Whilst we were at the restaurant, that was when I laid down the facts, and then I told him that a woman like his was supposed to be with a man like me. She laughed, and then she immediately put me in the friendship zone. When she put me into the friendship zone, I knew immediately that it was over. I did not even have any chance at all. This woman, she was looking ahead to date other men that were much more rich than I could ever been. So I then understood that with her beauty, obviously there was someone who was already looking after him. And then later on, when it came out that the boss had already taken her and they were staying together, I knew that this was why this woman did not even want to give me any attention, to give me any space for me to tell him how much I was in love with her, for she was already taken by the boss. So she worked with us until she fell pregnant. You can imagine the pain that I was feeling at that time, knowing that this was a woman that I had fallen in love with, and I believed that she belonged to me and she had been impregnated by the boss. I still tried to get back into her life, but she did not allow me any space. The wedding happened. We were even invited. The pain that I got, Brother Nashim, when we were invited at the wedding, I went there even though I did not want. So I was already a married man, but I was obsessed with her beauty. And when she had rejected me, I guess that this is what made me to fall in love with him even more. The fact that she had rejected me. I had a nice job, and women in the locations, whenever I would show interest in any woman that were under my class or not of my level, those women, they will be obsessed with me. So I believed, honestly, I believed that I could get any woman that I wanted in South Africa. But this one, she was proving to be very difficult. She did not give me what I thought she was supposed to give to me. By then, I was even telling myself that even if it happens that we just do it once, I would be satisfied. But she did not want that. She was telling me that she was someone that was a Christian and she did not want to do it with a brother because she believed that I was like a brother to him. I was not a man that she saw herself in bed with one day. That was just like a mere brother, a man that was even working for her husband. So what else would she want from a man like me? So at the wedding, I was even looking at her beauty, how beautiful she was when she walked past us, me, where I was sitting with my wife. I thought that she was even looking at me, and she still wanted to be with me, but she was just marrying my boss for the sake of the money. After her wedding, she did not return back to work. She was now an official housewife. Instead of me walking away, thanking God for my job, focusing on my own marriage because I had been married to my wife for a number of years, I began searching for a spiritual cheat code to break this woman's mind and to sleep with her once, and after sleeping with her, and then I will dump her. That is what obsession will do to you guys if you are not careful. I knew what I wanted to do was really crazy, but I was so much obsessed by the things that I wanted to do, so much that I was telling myself that once I just sleep with her once, I was going to dump her. She was going to be in pain. She will have no choice but to come to me and to beg to just sleep with me. I started looking and searching for answers. That was when I had this other friend of mine from high school. This man, he was someone that loved sangomas. Over a bottle of beer, when I had visited him, they were staying somewhere in Newtown, so I visited him after he had so many problems with his own wife. So I went there deliberately. I wanted to sort out the issues that were happening in their marriage. We went out to drink, and then he told me why he wanted to break up with the wife and why the wife wanted to break up with him. So I was trying to make sure that they stayed together for the sake of the kids. When I was drunk, I also told him and I confessed that I had this craving for my boss's wife that could not go away. I told him that whenever I was on top of my wife, I kept on thinking of Uliratom, my boss's wife. He was surprised by what I had told him, that this was what was in my mind at all the times. He was even laughing and saying, how about you just buy a prostitute and then you just sleep with that prostitute instead of doing what you are doing to your wife? And I did not tell anyone after that. Later on, that was when he told me of this other Zimbabwean woman who was a traditional doctor who could assist me. This woman had once assisted him when he had one of his old girlfriends started to talk to him on Facebook and told him that she was missing rough sex like they used to do. But as we are now grown up, we can't perform anymore. He was looking for a sangoma that could give him the charms so that he can be like a young man like he used to be in university, because this woman was saying that I just want someone to treat me rough in bed like you used to do when we were at varsity. So he went to that sangoma. After he had gone to that sangoma, that was when he was given some potions, some charms. And when he drank these charms, he said that it lasted all night. Even that old girlfriend, who was now married, was surprised by the way that he was powerful throughout the night. And she did not know that he had used some charms and some muti on him so that he can be what he was like during that night. And he said that I just remembered that you said you wanted something that will help you to sleep with your boss's wife. And I said yes. I then went to that woman. When I arrived, she was staying in Yeovil. When I went there, I paid the money for the consultation, and then she said, okay, so you want to sleep with this woman, right? And I said yes. And she said, okay, can you give her some food? I laughed because she wanted to give me a love potion, which you could give to someone through the food, that you put the charms inside of the food. And I said, it is highly impossible that she will ever be able to eat anything that I would have given to her. Beside, I don't see him at all the times. She does not even come to our offices anymore. She's staying in a gated community, unless if I want to get myself arrested, to get myself fired. So when the healer found out that we did not have like any physical connection, we did not have any sexual connection at all, then she said, okay, we cannot use this motim that I usually give to other people. We are supposed to use something that is spiritual. And she told me that we needed the help of those that were sleeping by the graveyards. She said that we were supposed to go to a graveyard at night, and she was going to do what she knew best. All that I was supposed to do was to pay her. I asked him how much this was going to cost. She said that because playing with dead people, it requires a lot of strength. What I was supposed to do was to pay her money that was around 4,000 rands. I said, I do not have that kind of money. And then she asked me how much I was willing to sleep with that woman. I said, a lot. I want to sleep with him and to just revenge him. And then she said, well, 4,000 to you, it is not going to be a lot then, if you really mean what you are saying. So I then raised the money. After I had made sure that I raised the money, because I did not want my wife to suspect where this money had gone to, I then took that hard cash and I gave that Zimbabwean traditional healer, and she gave me a date when we were supposed to go and to do the rituals. She then told me the things that I was supposed to buy. I was supposed to buy a pizza. I don't know why a pizza for her or for the dead people. I do not know. She just say, buy a pizza for me when you are coming, and you buy some candles, 3 of them, and then you buy a red garment which is supposed to be 1 meter by 2 meter long, and then you buy 6 eggs, 3 needles, and then you buy fresh milk, fresh milk. So I went and I bought the items during my lunch time. Even met my boss at Pick and Pay. They did not even know that the things that I was buying, they were not for my household. They were not for my wife. The fresh milk that I was buying, it was for his wife. And later on, I went and I collected that woman and I went with him to the cemetery that she had chosen. When we were at the graveyard, that was when she started to dig. It was late in the evening when we went to the graveyard. I was even driving with my lights. They were switched off, and we looked for a place where we could just park the car, and we hid it. This woman, she had a small spade and she had a clay pot, and then we arrived at this other grave that did not have a tombstone. Ever since that day, I discovered something that I did not even know. Guys, if you have a parent, someone that you loved when they were still alive, go and put a tombstone on their grave. I feel sorry for those that are buried and then they are forgotten forever, because people, they play like they want on the graves of those people that do not have tombstones. We looked for a grave that did not have a tombstone, and then she started to dig. She dug up rather a lot of soil. She gave it to me and she told me to bath with it using that milk. And she kept on digging, and she opened up a space where I could actually sleep inside of the grave, but it was not deep. And then she told me that I was supposed to enter, and she covered me, but she left my neck. I was totally naked. She covered my entire body, she covered my manhood, and she left my head. It was outside. Then I felt something that was playing with my manhood, and it was erect like I had never seen it like in my entire life. It even amazed me. It was a bit painful because it was too rock hard, like I had drank some pills that give you power as a man. After that ritual was done, then we left, we returned back to my car. I dropped her off and I drove back home. I was told not to take a bath. I had soil everywhere. I just dusted myself off and I went into the bathroom, switched on the shower, and I was sitting on the bathtub, pretending as if I was busy bathing. Went straight and then I went into bed. My wife did not even suspect a thing. Then, after I had followed all the instructions, I waited for the charm to take effect. One day, my boss then called me. He was not around, and I was told that I was supposed to go and deliver some things that were going to be delivered, for he had put a wrong address of Take a Lot at the company instead of the house where he was staying with the wife. So I went to the estate, and surprise, surprise, we were now looking at each other, me and my boss's wife. Something happened and we made love. We made love 2 times before I returned back to work. She was surprised by what I was doing to her and why my thing did not even sleep, because soon after we had finished, it was already up and I wanted her the second round, and she was amazed. And we dated. We dated until I saw that she was too much addicted into me, and I broke off with him. After I get broken up with him, I started to have a dream. I would see a woman that would enter into my room, and I would be in a sleep paralysis, unable to break free. This woman will come, undress herself, and she would be smelling like a dead person, without eyes, with the skin falling off, and she will sleep with me. When I wake up, I will see that there will be worms that were on my private part. I thought that I had an STI. I rushed off to the doctors. There was no problem. I started to have sexual dysfunction. I had a girlfriend who loved sex too much. I would go to her 3 times a week when I am returning back from work. But when I would go to that girl, I would bore her quite a lot until she broke up with me because my manhood was no longer working. Went to men's clinic, did not work. Tried herbs, did not work. My thing started reducing in size. At first, I did not notice that my thing was reducing its size day and day. My wife was the one that realized that I am no longer the same size. You know, women, they know even in the dark. She asked me what was wrong with my manhood. We switched on the light, and she said, it is not the same way. It does not feel the same way. And then I started to notice that my manhood, it is just getting smaller and smaller. I then went to Soweto, where there was this other mature girlfriend of mine. I did not tell her. When we were about to sleep together, she laughed at me because she was holding my manhood. And she said, what is wrong with you? It is not waking up. She tried blowjob, she tried everything. Nothing was working. I just said, I think it is diabetes. Even my wife, I have since told him that maybe I do have diabetes. She says, why don't you go to the clinic and find out? And I refuse. Many of my side chicks, they are only in my life for the sake of money. Even my wife, one day, after we had been fighting for a very long time, she then said, I'm still with you because you gave me kids. I'm still with you because of your financial stability. But as for sex, if you see me having sex with another man, do not complain because I can't get it from you anymore. She was told by her friends that there is a girlfriend of mine who bewitched me. Maybe I lied to that woman that I'm not married. That is why my wife, she does not feel any sorry for me. She does not know that this is what I did. Bro Nash, I have tried. I even traveled as far as Venda, where I was robbed by another guy who told me that he could assist me, but he just gave me some charms. Those charms, they did not even work anymore. What is surprising is that my manhood, it can be small like a finger when I want to make love to a woman. Like I can do Tinder dating, I am chatting with a woman, I can see that I am really turned on, I can go and I can destroy this woman's cooking. But when I arrive there, yo, hey guys, that woman will laugh at me. She will ask me, is this the thing that you were saying you want to destroy me with? What are you going to destroy me with? Your fingers, your hand? Because some of these women, they can even claim that they can't see anything. There was one prostitute who asked me, what do I urinate with? But yet I was trying to make my thing to stand up. And she said, what do you urinate with? I can't see anything. I have gone to different doctors, but they just say that what is happening to me, it is normal. My blood sugar level, it is normal. Everything is normal. I know for a fact that my problems, they only started the moment that I had a dream, and in that dream, I found myself sleeping with a dead woman. I tried finding that Zimbabwean lady, those sangomas, once they mess up your lives, they will run away. It's like they know this woman, she is the one that made me to go and sleep with a dead person in the grave. Now I am suffering. Brother, if you have people that you can recommend, or if any of your listeners can recommend any doctor who has a surgery here in Joburg, I don't mean a medical doctor, I mean an African doctor who is operating in Joburg that can return my manhood back to its own level where it used to be. I will be following through in the comment section. Your dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to us by one of our dear brother who is looking for help. Do you know any person who has a surgery in Joburg who can assist our brother? If so, please write in the comment section. But why did you agree to do something like that? Why did you agree to sleep on top of a grave of a woman that you never knew? Maybe that sangoma, she already wanted spiritual powers, and she saw that you were desperate enough to be used in those rituals. Maybe you only benefited by sleeping with him, with the boss's wife, like you wanted to, but you lost a lot. Let us speak with our dear brother in the comment section. Thank you very much for watching. Please make sure that you do not skip any episode that we post. To like, if you can't comment, you can just like the videos. It can help the channel quite a lot.